Hi everyone, AF4QT today is an interesting video. I came across some of these old CB QSL cards. Now QSL cards is a tradition in amateur radio where once you make contact with the person and have a nice, what we refer to as rag chew, a lot of times radio operators will exchange cards like postcards, but they're called QSL cards. And when the 11-meter band was allocated to citizen band radio back in the late 50s, early 60s, the citizen band operator wanted to carry on the tradition of exchanging QSL cards with people they made contact with on the radio. And so I came across some of these neat old CB QSL cards because I doubt, maybe they still do. I'm not sure if CB operators would even exchange QSL cards like ham operators still do today to some extent. But anyway, this is one of the neatest cards that I came across. This is a QSL card with a space motif. Now remember, when the citizen band radio really became popular in the early 60s, throughout the 60s, 70s, and probably petered out in the early 80s when the cell phone started to really infiltrate the citizens, mindset. The space program was just beginning. So if you notice, this is a Mercury spacecraft here with the 73 symbol. 73, of course, means best wishes and so forth. And this QSL card is from KF8 or KFA 3221 from Baldwin Park, California, Joe and Richard Moronis. So, Joe and Richard Moronis. So, I'm just curious, I'm sure many of these, most of these people, if not all, have all passed away, unfortunately. But hey, if anyone happens to know that name or know these people, that would be really interesting to hear about. All right, here's a QSL card from a CB operator. KBQ 2915 from Alla, Louisiana. I would suspect his name, his slang name was Woody, since his middle name was Woodrow. So KBQ 2915, no, 29I5, I guess that would be it, yes. Pretty neat little card. Now here's a card, a QSL card, and I remember when my dad had a little print shop, he would oftentimes print that little face. Yeah, if you look at it this way, he's smiling, but if you flip this card over, he's frowning. So a neat little optical illusion there. That's from Lonnie Anderson from Eudora, Arkansas, KMR 6467. Oh, this way. Yep, there we go. Eudora, Arkansas, which would be in the southeastern portion of the state of Arkansas. Here we have one from the Benoit or the Benoits. KKA 0880, KKA 7341, and they're from Spencer, Massachusetts. So obviously a husband and wife team here on the CB radio. Yep. Now, call signs are not really common at all on CB. Everyone has a handle, and but handles obviously started way back in the early days of citizen band. Here is the old kingpin himself, KMA 8442 from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. Unfortunately, there's no name on this QSL card I could find, not even on the back. Oh, his first name is George. That's all it says, George. So if anyone knows the old kingpin, this is this is his QSL card. Here's one from Fayetteville, New York, KMP 4665. Obviously, he was a sergeant of some sort in the military, or maybe a fireman. He has the old civil defense emblem in the circle underneath the eagle. And of course, civil defense was mainstay for, you know, protecting the public during the time of natural or unnatural disasters. So, yep, his QSL card is kind of classy looking. Here's one from my dad, KEB 5280, the number of feet in a mile. That's how I remember that call sign, or that's how I remember the number of feet in a mile to this day, 5,280, because my dad actually had the call sign with that number, you know, in it. Yep, we grew up in the northeast corner of the state of Louisiana. And here's one from New Scotland, Nova Scotia, Canada. This is the Eskimo. That was his handle. And he's from Sackville, Nova Scotia, Bob and Nancy Bradley. I'm not sure how far this is from Liverpool, Nova Scotia, but I do remember going to Liverpool, Nova Scotia a few years ago, and they had these tall ships there. I don't know if it was some commemoration they was holding or not, but that tall ship reminded me of Liverpool. I need to look on the map to see if that's near Liverpool, Nova Scotia. Here's one. Here's a CBer and a truck camper, KKM, what is it? KKM 9957. The Gypsies, the Tennessee Gypsies from Ripley, Tennessee. That would be outside of Memphis, Tennessee. And here's one. Here's old boozer here, Steve Longfellow from Bristol, Connecticut. The Connecticut hobo. I didn't know there were any hobos in Connecticut. Yeah, it's pretty funny though. KKA 7025. And this QSL card is kind of neat. This is almost handmade. I noticed that these are looks like they were done by felt pens. The ocean here, the side of the island, the top of the island. And the reason why I suspect it's are markers, because if I look closely, there's some smudges that are outside the boundaries of the lines of the island there to indicate. I mean, it just feels like a marker, but nevertheless, it's pretty neat. QSL cards are even neat to this day with ham operators. A lot of times they will depict an interest that the radio operator has other than radio. In this case, obviously this guy probably enjoys fishing, since there's a fishing pole that he has there. Oh, here's I guess I saved the best for last here. This QSL card, it says, "Great, you came in well above the noise." And if you notice, this Radio Shack is in the outhouse. That's pretty funny, isn't it? Coming in above the noise. And this is from Ernest and Kay Perkins from Carrollton, Texas, near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So hey, that's the trip down memory lane of CB QSL cards from a long gone past era. This is AI4QT 73.